And then if that's able to be eclipsed, you have upside to about 28,000, maybe 300 to 400. However, I don't believe we are at the lows on crypto. So I think this is a trader's market in crypto.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Crypto. Today we are still with Gareth Soloway, and we will get his expert opinion on the price movement of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is barely afloat at a few $100s above the $20,000 support. Is Bitcoin ultimately heading toward $12,000 as a worst-case scenario? The number one crypto tanked in early June to $18,000. That was the lowest since 2020. What does the future hold? The stock market has been fluctuating, but it is obvious that the movement is bearish. What now? The crypto crash is exacerbated by pressures unique to this space with the liquidation of leveraged positions and trouble among financial service providers. Could this really be an ice age? Well, the chief market strategist for InTheMoneyStocks.com, Gareth Soloway, gives reassuring advice that you may want to pay attention to.
Internet age was just dawning in the late 90s. Stocks were going up, from 5 cents to 20 cents to $1 to $5, just like a lot of cryptocurrencies did. And Amazon, by the way, was one of those stocks that just had an amazing move up. But just like with crypto now, the dot-com bubble collapsed. And a lot of dot-coms got wiped out. They went to zero. And a lot of them also were bought out for pennies on the dollar by the likes of the bigger players out there. So the same thing is going on here in crypto. And that's one of the calls that I've made going back to last November, is that we have to see that flush out. Part of that reasoning is just simply, if you look at how many cryptocurrencies there are like 20,000. There's no way that we can have 20,000 cryptocurrencies. It probably should be 50 or maybe just 20. So you have to flush those out. We've seen Celsius kind of get to that point of being almost insolvent. We've seen other cryptocurrencies like Terra Luna basically collapse. So it's in the process. The one thing I would say is, if you look at this chart, you should get a technical bounce here. Now, this is the important part here. So I am calling for a technical bounce back to probably this level here. Let me put a trend line in. So this is about 25,500. And then if that's able to be eclipsed, you have upside to about 28,000, maybe 300 to 400. However, I don't believe we are at the lows on crypto. So I think this is a trader's market in crypto. I think you get back to maybe 25, maybe 28. But please understand that my next target on the downside is 12,000 to 13,000. And I don't mean to scare anyone. This is just what the charts are telling me. It's my job to just tell you guys what the charts are saying. So first of all, I would say at the highs when we were at 68, 69,000, a lot of those same people were saying buy, 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 buy. So they're changing their tune with the switching of the winds, the changing of the winds. And I also think that just like you have people that were pumping religiously at 68, 69,000, you also have them on the other spectrum.
You heard the man. Now, how much fluctuation should we expect? Soloway says it would be a lot.
I do believe in cryptocurrency. I think Bitcoin is a fantastic way to get around the printing of the Fed, to get around inflation, to basically have a currency that you can transfer very quickly around the globe. So I'm a big believer in it. I think that once it bottoms out, it will have a run. Now, one thing I'd love to show you guys, let me show you guys this on the chart. And I might have shown you guys this in the past, but if we look at the Bitcoin chart here, now notice this big M pattern right here, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we have this pattern here. And then what I want to show you guys is look at the Amazon chart going back. Let's go to the weekly so we can get back there, going back to the .com era.
In that case, what then is the plan? Do we wait for the 12K mark? Gareth Soloway shares a shrewd piece of financial advice here. Watch. Wow, but in the long run, what is the trend to expect? Is Bitcoin going to die off as some have predicted? Soloway points out why Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole are here to stay.
To my family in some other country. So there's a place for both of these. There's the one you can hold, and then there's the digital one where you can send very quickly. Yeah, so that's a great question, right? So I think as a short-term play, you are going to see some sort of rally here, because if you can see here, I mean, basically this thing had a nonstop run, and then it kind of basically put in a little bit of a short-term top. And if we draw a trend line across these highs, the low that we recently saw was right to that. So I think in the near term, it likely gets a bounce back. I could see 120, 125 or so on the price. But I do think we're in a new era where valuation matters. There were so many years where valuation did not matter for technology stocks, and now people want to see that value. And so the PE ratios for a lot of these companies have to come in. So my guess is yes, a bounce here.
Now that we know what to expect, it might interest you to know that last month, the central bank raised the interest rates by 1/3 of a percentage point to calm the soaring U.S. inflation, stressing that it will keep up the tempo until the rising prices cool off. So we should expect an Amazon-like recovery in the long term. But what are Amazon's projections? Based on forecasts, a long-term increase is expected. The Amazon stock price forecast for the 30th of June 2027 is $2,390. This means with a 5-year investment, the revenue is expected to be around nearly 2,000% returns. Your current $100 investment may be worth up to $2,090 in 2027. In fact, some estimates show that there might not be enough labor in the United States to meet Amazon's ambitious plans in a couple of years. We have seen such trends with Bitcoin in recent years, and Gareth Soloway is strongly bullish on Bitcoin in the long run. Soloway gives the technical analysis of Bitcoin and its movements within different timeframes.
Yeah, so I think that the Fed, they're meeting later in July, I believe, towards the end of the month. They'll tighten by another 50, maybe 75 basis points. I think they're trying to kind of front load because they know the economy is going to come to a screeching halt. I think that they're trying to bring inflation down with all their might. But my guess is, yes, it will come in, but they're basically going to force the US into a recession. And that mainly could mean that you see the whole world enter into a recession as well. So that's my biggest fear here, is that the Fed has always played from behind, right? They played from behind in 2008, 2009, not starting any sort of quantitative easing till 2009. And even in COVID, they kind of were a little late there. But when they came in, they came gangbusters in. They always have a tendency to go too hard and be late. So they're trying to play catch up. And I think that this is that situation where, yes, I think interest rates need to go up, but doing it this quickly, you are sending a shock, especially when commodity prices are already hurting the market. Inflation is already hurting the consumer.
So based on the current state of the economy, will Bitcoin ever be enough to combat inflation? Soloway says it has to mature with time, and it will take many more years to catch up with gold. Speaking of gold, one might wonder, how will gold perform, and what will be its impact on Bitcoin? Gareth Soloway points out an interesting relationship between gold and the dollar. Plus, he gives an interesting forecast you might want to be aware of. Now that we know how Russia inevitably affects the gold market, what then will be the impact that a drop in physical metal will have on the paper market? The chief market strategist has an interesting take on this one. Watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think any sort of geopolitical, I mean, if the war, hopefully not, but if it were to spread, people would absolutely run into that. They'd also run into the dollar, though, frankly. So again, then you'd have that battle of dollar up, and then can gold also move up? So it's tricky, right? I mean, you have to look at it in those terms, but I think instability and fear are reasons why people buy gold.
Still on the commodities that are the most important to us, Gareth Soloway gives his expert opinion on the direction that oil will go in now and the fear of looming recession. Circling back to the crypto world, what coins does Gareth Soloway think we should avoid, like Vecna's clock? Hear what he thinks on this.
And the bottom line is, we're moving towards an economy where there's more alternate energy like solar, more electric cars. So I mean, shorter term, yes, recessions come and go, but I think, again, the switchover has started. And the 19 level is a huge buying opportunity. I'll be eyeing that one to buy some.
You've heard it, guys. It gets worse before it gets better. The night is darkest just before the dawn. Stay well positioned to make the most of the bear market, and as Soloway advised, we DCA all the way. No one can say for sure what the future holds, but we can make highly informed speculations and near accurate guesses. So let's keep our fingers crossed as we go through this bear market. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think of Gareth Soloway's predictions? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Don't forget to smash the like button, share our videos with your friends and loved ones, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get first-hand notifications on all of our amazing content. See you in the next one. Bye for now.